It's time for Frank Walks. Frank talks while Frank walks. It's time for Frank Walks.
I am joined right now by a Chicago legend, Mike North. You know, he's been doing radio, TV, sports forever. And you know, it's just about anything there is over the last 50 years. He's like a wealth of knowledge. He's seen it all. He's been there. He's been there for the Bears Super Bowls. He's been there for the Cubs breaking the curse and the White Sox.
Which reminds me, 69 Cubs lose to the Mets. I tell my dad, I'm dropping out of school. I'm going to work at the Cub World Series game. And then you guys come up and steal our hearts. Ryan, Seaver, Gentry. But it was the everyday players like Tommy Agee, Al White.
Cleon Jones finished second in the league in hitting that year.
And lived in a van by the river, I heard.
Still hitting. His batting average that season is still the best single-season batting average in Mets history.
The players on that team were just a team. They said, we'll do our job.
A lot of platoons that team. A lot of platooning on that team, too.
Absolutely. And the Cubs had no platooning.
It was, because you talked about Clendenin. Well, Clendenin split time at first with Ed Kranepool. And then in right field, you had the flower child, Ron Swoboda, and Art Shamsky.
And we had a catcher named Randy Hundley that in the hottest summer probably in decades caught 158 games and lost exactly 15 pounds over the course of the second half of the season. They couldn't hit the ball out of the infield, even though they played decent ball. I think the Mets won something like 25 out of their last 32 or 33 games.
Oh, the Mets had an insane run. The Mets had an insane run. Of course, you had the Black Cat game, too.
Well, that was, I believe, a relative of yours let that loose, and you won't give in. And then it has to circle the guy. Forget about him running across him, because you know what I think I'll do? I'll embarrass you more. It was Santo in the on-deck circle. The Black Cat goes and just circles him. And he goes, oh, my God. And that was it. That seemed to sink their whole ship.
And then the cat went down into the dugout and down into the clubhouse, too.
I think then he became general manager the way you're talking about it. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I actually got a Black Cat bobblehead.
That's great. I mean, they actually gave that out?
And at the Brooklyn Cyclones game, yeah.
Wow.
They gave out a Black Cat bobblehead.
You know, if they had not broken the conference up into divisions, we hated the Mets more than we hated the rival now, St. Louis Cardinals. We couldn't stand the Mets for what they did, but they did it to themselves. You talked about platooning. We had no platooning. We had Paul Popovich, and we had like Willie Smith, and that was it.
And you played all those games, no night games, under the blazing sun.
I believe Ernie Banks, for the first time in his career, said, can we just play one today, not play two today? I'm exhausted, for God's sake, okay, Leo? And Leo DeRocher actually left the team, I don't know if it was 69, went on a weekend trip to his stepson's summer camp with his then-wife, former actress Lorraine Day, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're historians, right, Frank?
Yep. Yeah. You know, Lorraine Day.
Yeah, I'm a big
She
fan.
was just divorced. And Leo...
You know that?
Yep.
That a boy.
Leo was just hooking up with her. And because...
Yeah.
The scandal, and also that he had gambling friends.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he got suspended for the 1947 season.
I'm going to tell you something. Leo DeRocher he ran him into the ground. He had no idea. He didn't like Banks. He was too nice a guy. Leo famously said, nice guys finish last. And Leo wasn't a nice guy, but he proved us wrong. They finished last. Leo DeRocher finished last.
Oh, that was 66.
When we had guys like Fergie Jenkins and guys that were, you know, Larry Boa, we started to acquire. The Phillies helped us win. But Fergie Jenkins had 6 20-game seasons and never got diddly. Fergie was great, but the Cubs have 4 Hall of Famers, and they never won anything. Banks, Williams, Santo, Jenkins, and they never won anything. That's pretty controversial in my world.
Did Williams actually get part of that last Oakland title? Because I know he went to Oakland.
He might have.
I know he went to Oakland.
You know, I got to be honest with you. It's a little Africa hot today. I'm not used to walking. I mean, you know what? I got a dog. If you're going, forget about gym memberships. You've been doing good with the walking. If you have a dog, you're walking.
You know, one of my all-time favorite Chicago sports moments,
I can't wait to hear this.
1983,
Uh-huh.
Lee Elia,
Oh.
the greatest ever rant of all time.
Les Grobstein, who was my very good friend, who also worked at WSCR 670 with me back in the day, was the guy that had the tape, was the guy that had the mic and broke the story. It's one of the great, great rants of all time. That will go down in history. Lee Elia calling the Cub fans, 10-15% of you out here because you don't have jobs. You know, I mean, just beating up the fan base. And of course, he didn't last long. You know?
No, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it for them.
And the Cubs are quietly putting together a good team. 84, you know, Mets and Cubs both came up at the same time. It was like they were both like bottom barrel teams. And then all of a sudden, 84, they're in a pennant race.
Yeah. Well, in 84, Sutcliffe was just like Arrieta was in 2016, a dominant pitcher. But I'm going to tell you something. The 2016 team, we thought they'd win 3. They fizzled out. Rizzo.
I still don't know what happened there.
Yeah. Well, Madden, I don't think. Madden did it with, you know, he brought in like animals and did all this stuff. They tried to make excuses for themselves. The next year we're going to be hung over. What? You didn't win for 100 years. You guys are tired because you won one time. But I believe this team here, and I'm going to make a prediction. PCA.
Oh God.
Is going to be in 15 years. If he stays healthy, we'll make the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to tell you, it's PCA is going to be next. He's going to be sitting next to Nolan Ryan someday.
Yeah. What is that supposed to mean, though, Frank?
You don't realize it. It's going to be. This is basically Brock for Brolio.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Because I'm going to tell everybody this. Lou Brock, you watch him with the Cubs. He had 245 lifetime with the Cubs, 4 years. PCA has more power. Was faster than Brock. I've seen him. Basically, can catch anything hit to him. He's got power. He's got it all. He stays healthy. Look out. I know, well, that's all right.
Javier Baez. 2 miserable months of Javier Baez swinging at anything you throw up there. It didn't even have to be in the vicinity of home plate.
And we got PCA for him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something about Javi. Last year, the Detroit Tigers won more games, did better without him when he was out of the lineup in the second half of the season. It's like a history lesson of what goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Frank and I covering it. I'm going to tell you something. He's back this year. They act like he's doing phenomenal things. He's hitting 270, 275. He's got 9-10 homers maybe. He's still not worth the money they paid him.
No.
And never will be. When you're down on your Mets. You're down on your Mets. It hurts me. And I still think you got to get an optometrist or some sort of, I mean, the eyeglasses that you go through. I'm at home watching the ball game. No, Frank, I'm looking at my iPad. No, I can't take it. I can't do it. This guy, this son of a gun. And then you got a sculpture. A sculpture of a car that got in that.
I threw a bunch of my old glasses out, but I still have some of them.
Yeah, well, you ever try to fix them?
Sometimes, but and our catcher, he was going to be a good player. Francisco Alvarez. I mean, the Mets catcher, Francisco Alvarez.
Francisco Alvarez, I would have said, okay, he's in. Hey, how are you? Thanks, buddy. How are you? That wasn't a plant. Usually you'd have a plant, but no.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Hey, $40 to say that you're...
Hey, come on, haters. We would never do that, but they know him.
Love that.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks, bud. Talk to you later. Let's talk football.
Football, yes.
All right.
Got a big season coming up for the Bears. Big season.
Another one. Another big season. We've won 4 straight off seasons, Frank. We've won 4. Well, Fields is going to be unbelievable.
Oh.
Caleb Williams, generational. Eberflus, whole new defensive scheme. I mean, I have heard I've been a fan since 1961. I went to the 63 Bear game against the Giants. And
They
with
picked
my
off
uncle,
what? Why till like 4 times in
They
that
beat
game?
the crap out of him. They would have been all put in jail for what they did to him. The guy bled from head to toe. And
Yeah, he was on the ground
I
bleeding.
go to my uncle, this is great. He goes, yeah, this is great. Just take one look. That's it. I never knew he was telling me the truth. I'll never see it again until 86 or 85 when they played. And, you know, it's a whole different ballgame. But that was the coldest day of my life watching that 63 championship game. Frank Gifford and, you know, all the great teams. Del Schaffner from the Giants. When you were kids, we used to get football cards. Jimmy Patton. I mean, I know all the Pat Summerall, you know.
You know what I always like about the old football cards? The poses, like
Like this?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. How would your mine would be like this, a wide receiver where the ball's overthrown.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey!
okay, we're gonna take a picture of the football. Okay,
Yeah.
and they had like the pass rusher was always like running at the camera like this.
You save all your money. You got your money for a couple packs of baseball cards back in the day. You open up the pack. Football cards too. Just a headshot. Not good enough. Don't put that in the pack. They got to have these guys doing something. Just a headshot with no cap. You know, Wilbur Wood without a cap. He looks like a store manager at, at Mariano's, for God's sake. You know, so, I mean, I love football cards. That's what taught me the game. But really what taught me gambling was Jimmy the Greek.
Oh, Jimmy the Greek.
That guy should be in the Hall of Fame. The Football Hall of Fame, because he brought more fans to the game by teaching them how to gamble than anybody in the history of the game.
You know what was his big home run was, don't you?
Let me think here. It was with an individual. I bet with an individual, wasn't it? Or was it a game? A Super Bowl?
Yep.
That's what I figured, yeah.
He called the Jets-Colt upset.
Right. And they were getting 18 points. And
Yeah.
Joe Namath was my hero. And I was working at a delicatessen, and they had me work on Super Bowl Sunday, and there was a bar next door. I'm like 15, and I'm in the bar. They can't even find me, and I'm watching this magical guy, Joe Namath. 18-point favorites, Don Shula versus Weeb Eubank, the former coach. What a game. And what a perfectly called game by Namath. He didn't throw that many passes.
No, and truthfully, he shouldn't have even been the Super Bowl MVP. Should have been Snell.
I know. There's an argument. He had 2 touchdowns, but Namath called his own plays. Namath was Namath. That's just one of those deals. You're right. I mean, there's probably a couple guys that could have got. I remember Johnny Sample. A lot of those guys, the Jets.
And Earl Morrill throwing it, missing the wide open Jimmy.
He finally became the second-string quarterback he always was. One of the better ones, but Johnny Unitas coming in was cool too.
And then he ended up going a couple of years later, and after Bob Greasy went
Miami,
down, and helped the Dolphins have their undefeated season.
Right. He couldn't win the big game. I knew you're a Met fan. You live in New Jersey, and
Dan Marino.
That's right. You're Dan Marino. Well, I know Dan. Good guy. I'm in the National Italian Sports Hall of Fame, and he's also in. So they used to come back every year here to Chicago. Dan Marino's one of the great guys. And if he had played on one Super Bowl winning team,
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
I think he.
Him and Namath slung it as good as anybody I've ever seen.
I think he's the closest thing career-wise to Ted Williams.
Ooh, yeah, it was because Williams didn't win anything either. He just won All-Star games and
he only went to one Super Bowl. Williams only went to one World Series, and it was because basically they just could never put the right players around him.
Well, look at Boston. Look at
Yankee with the Bills.
That's right. I mean, the Boston Red Sox could never get anywhere because the Yankees were built to win every year. You know.
Well, the Red Sox. Some of the stuff is just.
You know who? You don't want to hear a guy that was unapproachable. Speaking of the National Italian Sports Hall of Fame back in the day, and all Italians worship the ground he walks on.
Oh, Joe DiMaggio.
Oh my God! Forget about Pope John Paul, or forget about any Italian Pope.
God, yeah.
Joe DiMaggio walks in the room, they start bowing. Okay, and the most aloof. I don't want to shake anybody's hand. Person I've ever seen, and he called himself the greatest ball player. He had the Yankees always announce he's. when Hank Aaron was alive, and you have Ted Williams was alive. I mean, Willie Mays was alive, and Joe DiMaggio's walking around going, announce me as the greatest living ball player. And I'm going, how does he get away with that? He was great.
Do you know when they had Yankee Old Timers Day?
Yeah.
And Mickey Mantle was still alive. He had to be announced after
Right.
Mantle. He couldn't. He had to be announced last. They couldn't go and Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle's got cancer. Is on his deathbed.
Yep.
Gives a video message, and now, Joe DiMaggio,
Yeah.
the greatest player that ever lived.
And he's always like this, walking out with the hair like this.
And
And Mantle stepped on a sewer cover, hurt his knee because DiMaggio at the last minute called Mantle off the ball. Mantle hit this thing, and
he always
this got to be one of the best episodes
he would
you've
always
ever
like
done, don't you
disparage
think?
Mantle. He always like blonde hair, pretty boy.
Oh my God, he had to be tired. Mickey Mantle. He won the Triple Crown in 1956, and he'd go to Toots Shorts. Hello, my God. I mean, think about it.
Let's put it this way: Mickey Mantle.
He was tired from being tired.
They talk about players, steroids being banned. Another thing that baseball recently banned, more recently, and the punishment for this is not even like that major, but if you get caught with it, it's like a 20-game suspension, greenies, uppers.
Oh, those were great. Pete Rose told me he lived on them. He lived on them every day. He said, you go into the locker room, Mike. He says, there's a bowl of them.
Oh, yeah, no.
You just go like, I'm ready to kill.
It wasn't even hidden. It was just like, here you go. They handed them out like they were M&Ms.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like everyone had
Right,
them.
everybody had them. And then,
And,
because it was the hangover cure for them. It was to get them zipped.
Well, just think, the 86 Mets would have been nothing without greenies. I mean, come on.
That was light compared to what they were doing. They're the greatest team of junkies that has ever won a World Series. I mean, look, I love Lenny Dykstra. Love him.
Oh, he's a great guy.
I love him.
But,
I love Darryl Strawberry. Watch yourself there. I love Darryl Strawberry. I love Gooden. I saw Gooden pitch in '86 against the Cubs. I go, holy Christ. But come on. My God, they were lit up. They were lit up more than Hall & Oates.
There was a...
They were lit up more than Leonard Skinner.
There was the flight home.
Hello.
The flight home after they beat the Astros in the Game 6, they did like 30-something thousand in damage to the airplane.
Yeah.
Tearing and put out the seats.
But other than that, they were nice gentlemen.
Tear out the seats.
The stewardesses were all disrobed. They were.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
The players and coaches were both.
Who does that?
Coke in the airline bathroom. Some of the wives were like getting freaky with each other. It was just,
Really?
oh, you got to listen to this video that the players talk about the craziest fight of all time.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. I didn't know that. Look at Mikey. Mikey's got us working today. Look at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going all over today. I'm just glad we got this far and we didn't have to talk about the Bulls.
Oh!
No, we're good.
We could talk about Thibodeau.
Talk about this.
Dumb move.
But isn't this gonna be dated?
No, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter because it's him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you.
does.
And me, because we're gonna have some laughs.
Now,
Who edits this?
Me.
I'm gonna throw you an extra C note, make us look good.
probably the next time, probably to this here, we'll know who the Knicks coach is.
Yeah, we better not.
But I mean, we
Thibodeau.
hope so.
Thibodeau was a bad move by them too.
I mean,
They're bringing who they bringing in? Johnny Bailey or somebody? Nobody wants to work for him.
well, they keep asking people who have jobs.
They wanted Billy Donovan. Oh, by the way, pal, I saw your little shot today at the Bulls. You are so pissed, and I don't blame you.
Yeah, they're the worst.
They're the worst. They're rehiring losers.
Yes, exactly. They're giving.
Here we go.
I have Big Cat in the office calling me Mikey Reinsdorf.
Anyway, all I'm going to tell you is both cities got problems. One, you finally became successful in New York with the Knicks, so they did the proper thing that they always do. Jim Dolan got together with some fans. They said, we should have won this thing, so he fired Thibodeau. And then, to put insult among injury, I wanted Billy Donovan to go. And they said the Bulls didn't give him permission to go to the Knicks. And they just re-signed recently their general manager. Just a nightmare. All I'm going to tell you is this. Would you have been happy with Billy Donovan if he would have been the coach?
No.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think there's many coaches out there that you would hire that you'd want better than
Yeah.
Thibodeau.
Michael Malone, but it doesn't look like the Knicks even want to consider him.
Yeah, no.
I mean, could end up being Michael Malone, but I mean,
They finally get to the Final Four, and then they do that. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, my God, why would you do that? Nobody wants to work for him.
now, I'm going to say that Thibodeau maybe not had the greatest conference finals, but
He made everybody forget Dolan was bad for 5 years.
I'm going to tell you what's funny. Oklahoma City's top 2 players played more than Brunson, and he did not run them into the ground. I mean, Brunson played 67 games. He missed 15 ball games. I mean, some guys on that team didn't play a whole lot, but I understand the frustration. But man, when you get to the Final Four,
no, you should keep your job.
absolutely.
Unless you could unless you know 110% that you're going to hire somebody that's better. And when I mean better, I mean you got to hire someone with a championship pedigree who could get you the next step. Not somebody who's going to come in there, year one, it's going to take an adjustment period. So you're probably punting next year. Then everyone's going to be a year older, and injuries could happen, and
Yeah. I'll give you.
You're regretting it, and then wish you didn't fire Thibodeau.
One of the great discussions I ever had was me saying that Phil Jackson was basically the doorman at the Four Seasons that would get all the big tip money because he knew the top people, like the Bulls. He had Jordan, he had Pippen. I'm not saying he didn't coach them, but I always said Red Auerbach is the greatest coach who ever coached basketball because he sold the tickets, he scouted, he did the drafting, he coached them, he did clinics, he did everything to make Boston basketball big, but he ran the team. And I said, Phil Jackson could never run a basketball team. And, oh no, Mike, oh no, he can't. And then the Knicks offered him the job. The biggest mess in history, and I was proven right once again because they actually think that Michael Jordan wasn't going to win titles without Phil Jackson.
They did for a while. They did for a while.
Doug Collins got him there, and then, I mean, he'd be a better coach than any coach the Bulls got now.
Doug Collins?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, if you think what did happen is, when they finally started to turn the corner and become winners,
Yeah.
that's when they started putting actual talent with Jordan.
Right, I get you.
I mean, it was Michael and the Jordanaires for a couple of years.
And they-
and then they had Scottie Pippen.
We got him in a trade for Olden Polynice. What a
Oh,
steal.
God.
Jerry Krause was one of the top 5 GMs of all time, and they crap on him.
Yes,
And they
100%.
crap on him. And this guy got Rodman from San Antonio when Rodman said, I don't feel like playing anymore. All of a sudden he got with Jordan after they asked permission. They had to ask Jordan, hey, what do you think about bringing Rodman in? No different than when they asked Bird, what do you think about bringing Walton in? These stars know what rebounders can do, make them even better. And they said, yeah. And that's what happened. And that's why Jordan's team and that 86 Celtic team, one of the greatest ever I saw. I saw him come to Chicago and kick our ass.
Now, I hear that before you really got started in talk radio, you actually ran some hot dog stands.
I had 3 hot dog stands, Frank. I had served beef sandwiches. We served homemade brownies, Italian sausage, Polish sausage. We had 3 of them. And was very successful. I had carts in the park. I wasn't going to do another thing. And then one day I read the Chicago Sun-Times. And it said, WXRT owners going to have jazz station, WJZZ. I shut it and I go to my wife, you believe this? That station won't last a year. And she goes, well, what do you want to do? Well, at that time, some XRT people used to come in my stand. And that day, after I read that, the owner of WXRT came in the stand. He goes, how you doing? I go, good. I just read it. You're going to start a jazz station. He goes, yeah. I go, listen, go sports. Go sports. I'm telling you right now. He goes, we're music guys. We don't know anything about sports. I go, there's 12 stations right now. This was in 1990. WFAN in New York.
IP in Philly?
Yeah, IP in Philly. San Diego had one going. LA had one going. I go, Chicago gets one. He goes, look, we're music guys. That's the way it goes. He goes home that weekend and buys the Sunday editions, which in New York you could get them on Saturday nights and Saturday here in Chicago. This thick back in the day. He went to the sports section and saw, back in the day, they were this thick. Now the whole paper's this thick. And there was like 30 ads, you know, for everything from fishing equipment to... Then he went to the jazz entertainment section. He saw there was like 3 ads. He gets to the XRT the next Monday, and he sits with his people. They go, who are we going to hire as DJs? He goes, nobody. We're going all sports. And they go, are you out of your mind? You're going to listen to that goofy hot dog guy? He goes, yeah. And all they did was put together one of the great sports stations in history at WSCR 670 that's still going on now. And they said we wouldn't last 6 months because we were a 3-show station. We ended up lasting. In fact, the Cubs now are on that station. Yep. And it was through my suggestion and Danny Lee's sack, steal you-know-what, to invest $700,000 into, at that time, a chance, and it ended up working.
I mean,
Chris Russo's a friend of mine, and he couldn't believe the story, you know. Mad Dog's a friend of mine. He couldn't believe the story when it happened, and I've been on with Mad Dog and stuff. I bet you didn't know. I sat in for Imus for 3 days, for Don Imus.
When did you do that?
I did that in 2005 or 2006. I was getting ready to leave our station.
Oh, is that when he had his lung collapse?
Yeah, he had something go wrong, and they said, you come in for 3 days. And
that's before he had the Rutgers incident, too.
Yeah, and you know, I know some, I go, how you doing? I'm sitting there, how you doing?
Oh, that was Imus.
Yeah. Now what? I go, excuse me? So, anyway, I sat in for 3 days, and I got off the bank start. You know what I started off with? Dick Butkus said Lawrence Taylor wasn't good enough to play middle. Dick Butkus is the greatest linebacker who ever lived. Oh my God. The Lawrence Taylor calls came in. And that's how we started. But I worked 3 days for him. Well, New York is a different place. A different place. I like to be in Chicago. It's more big fish in a little pond.
Yeah.
You're a big fish in a big pond, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Look at him.
Continue to growing, but thank you for joining us.
Love you.
Absolutely great. Absolutely great.
Awesome. I heard this is one of the longest ones of the year.
Might be one of the longest ones.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
We'll see how the editing is.
Went by fast.
Yeah, it did. Good time.